bam, psh, 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 bam, bam, psh, psh, psh. All right. Hello, mate.
Hello, buddy.
How's it going?
How is your hangover?
The champagne hangover.
The champagne hangover. Yeah,
It's very good, mate. It was
it's abated. It's
well
abated.
worth it, I think.
That was
What
quite an incredible night,
what
wasn't
are
it?
we even talking about? Why are we in DJs?
What? Yeah. The internet probably knows, but maybe some people don't. We won a BAFTA.
We won a BAFTA, mate. Can you believe that?
I can't really believe it, mate. The BAFTA is the British Academy of Film and Television Awards. Open brackets, games, close brackets.
Yeah, it needs to get renamed to the
BAFTA.
BAFTA.
It's the Oscars, though, isn't it? It's the
BAFTA.
British Oscars.
Yes, it's the
It's the
British
highest
Oscars.
award, other than the Queen, right?
You can't have
from
you
us,
can't
the
have the
next-
Queen as an award.
You can't. Well, I mean, a knighted.
Right.
You know, arise, Sir Delay.
That's
you
it.
know?
So that's next on the list then. So that's 10 years again. It was 10 years ago when we got the IGF, wasn't it? We were just saying in the
right.
last video.
That's right. We're on a 10-year cycle. I could not believe it.
Yeah.
You know, for some reason, I don't know why. I thought, in my mind, 'cause we were nominated. We had two nominations. We had Best British Game and Best Persistent Game. Persistent Game is kind of like game that's most updated, right?
Yeah.
And I sort of thought that we might win Best British. You know, I sort of thought that. I don't know why. You know.
Well, because it's a much narrower field.
Yeah, but there were still some incredibly good games, and I think because the other games in the same nominations had multiple kind of nominations and stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I sort of thought, you know, we might win that, and that was the first award of the night, and we didn't. And as the night went on, I sat there thinking, it's funny being at an award ceremony when you're nominated because I really, really didn't think we were going to win. This
Yeah,
isn't just me pretending to, you know.
It is a strange experience, isn't it? Because it's hard work, isn't it? Like sitting there because you're waiting for your award to come up.
Yeah, yeah.
But at the same time, you kind of don't want to get your own hopes up too much.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
You don't want it to be all about that one moment because there's a very good chance you're not going to get it.
And also, you're sort of thinking, for me anyway, I mean, different for you, you just had to not fall over when you walked up on stage, but I try to think about what I'm going to say, you know, when I'm up there, because, the kind of showman in me does not want to give a boring BAFTA speech.
Yeah, and what you actually said was, "Thank you very much, everybody.
That's right,
Thank
that's
you
right.
so much. It's been a great honour."
I was dying. I was absolutely dying.
Of all the days, Ray,
Oh, mate. I was on BBC
for like
Breakfast that
20 years I've known you. I've never once, no matter how much I've wanted it, I've never once known you to lose your voice.
Do you know?
And then on the day of the BAFTA, and on that morning you were on BBC Breakfast.
Yeah, I
you
know. I
Going,
know.
oh,
Millions.
I'm really pleased to be on BBC Breakfast. It's a
Yeah.
tremendous honour.
They gave me like 15 seconds on BBC Breakfast
Yeah, because
I was
there must have been a
so on
producer in
top.
the ear going,
Yeah.
cut away
Yeah,
now. We're talking to some kind of,
Yeah,
some
'cause
dude that
nobody-
his lungs removed.
That's right, because no one can hear and understand what he's doing. Although the report was quite nice, actually. He was all right about it afterwards because I joked with him. Ben, he's one of my school friends. He wrote on Facebook that his dreams have finally come true, that I'm on stage winning an award and I've lost my voice.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
everybody that knows me, it's like they want me to be successful, but also just to fucking shut up for a few minutes.
Just once in your life. Just once in your life, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
But not
yeah.
on the night we win the BAFTA. For God's sake,
it's-
that's the night you need to come out and be on stage.
It was amazing. From the moment they said prison architect, right, I was in a complete shock and disbelief. I really didn't think we were going to do it. You know, the competition that we were up against was so strong.
I know.
I thought there's no way. You know, we're not part of the establishment.
It's totally crazy, isn't it? Because it's like all these cameras suddenly turn on you, don't they? And
Yeah,
you have to perform complex acts like getting up
Yeah.
and climbing over your wives
One
and
bloke
things.
fell over, didn't he?
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh
do you
yeah,
know
the
that?
guy that was leaving the stage. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he tripped up, didn't he? Yeah, exactly. You've got to walk all the way up on stage before everyone stops clapping.
Yeah.
Right, and then say things and then go off. And it's kind of, it reminded me of the IGF. Like you go around the back after you've won your award.
Yeah.
And we must have. I think we did like 3 interviews on camera, didn't we? Like in rapid succession.
So I was reading the comments and the version 5, video. You know, and despite the fact that you are, without question, the Archbishop of Banterbury,
What?
I've heard you described as a Bantosaurus Rex.
What?
You're the king of banter.
What?
People don't like our bants. Well, not people.
Oh yeah,
Some
I know.
people
It's
don't like
become a thing, hasn't it? To find the
turn
time.
you've got to tune to 4 minutes and 17 seconds. before they start talking about the game.
Well, I think firstly that
Well, I've got
voice
a message for
that
you,
voice
Grid
is extremely
Netfucks.
offensive to.
Read the fucking change log. If you don't want the bant. Hey,
Read
they
the
kicked the bag.
Well, I think isn't the problem that it's not 4 minutes though? It's like 20 minutes, isn't it? 20 minutes of shit, before.
Well, I'm still talking, but in terms of those people,
You're all free to fuck off. That's what you're basically saying. You go and watch Beyonce's new album or whatever the fuck it is you want to do today. We're recording a prison architect video.
so
You want to channel some of your inner anger.
now that we've lost them all, right? Let's talk about PA, and then more bants later. For the rest of you right-minded folk, more bants.
All right, here we go. Time signature. This is the moment.
Yeah.
Right, let's look at new features, shall we?
Let's.
All right, I'm going to load a prison. I'm going to load. Oh, I should have planned this a little bit better, shouldn't I? I should have had something ready to go. Cut. All right, so let's start with a new feature, which is actually quite a strongly requested feature, and is just there to help the player achieve his objectives. If I show you. If I build, say in here, I want to build some radiators. That's one of our relatively newer features. This laundry is looking a little bit cold. Let's put some radiators in there. All right. One of the problems you have in the game is you can never quite tell when this is going to get done or how long it's going to take to get done. Well, now you can. Because now, when you highlight a job that's in progress, you get a line showing you where the guy is who's doing it. Right?
Nice.
And in fact, you can press F and you can see. Right? And so we can actually follow the guy who is doing that job for us. There he is with his little radiator, right? Pretty damn cool. Where did we get that idea from?
Well, where did we get that idea from?
It's a good idea, isn't it?
It is a good idea.
That's pretty good user interface design, that, if you ask me.
It's from the fantastic mind of designer Gaz and the 011 team.
That's right.
Which is nice, because you've kind of given me a little segue there, because I can remind everybody that we're still out on Xbox One Game Preview. And if you've not already, if you're an Xbox One player, go and pick it up. And if you're not, go and vote for it. Not vote for it, review it.
Yeah.
Review it. We're trying to build the reviews a bit over there. We've got quite a few reviews, but we want more. So even if you're a PC player, just go and review the Xbox version. It's better. Whatever you think of the PC version.
I'm sure it's really good, because the
Whatever
PC
you think of the PC
good.
version, just add one, right? Because it's add one star, because it's awesome. So yeah, that's good.
It's a very useful feature, and it has another thing that goes with it, which is that the other element to it, which is the concept of hurry up. Right,
yeah, exactly.
So if I tell my guys to build some walls here, say it's super urgent, like there's a riot underway or something, I can now control, click and drag like this.
Yeah.
And it all becomes marked as high priority. Right?
It's it is a basic user interface kind of principle, that, right? Because you can stamp things down, and the game doesn't really give you a lot of feedback that it's actually happening.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it'd be very easy to interpret that as, nothing I ever do gets done.
Yeah, because it's in a big prison like this, it can take a long time. So particularly if you've got like some work around here that you're trying to get done, and some work over here that you're trying to get done, the player usually has in his own mind a concept of which of those is more important.
Yeah.
But the game kind of doesn't. The game just kind of does it based on distance and some sort of heuristic, So you can tell it. You can just say. So if you wanted to build something down here really quickly, for example, well, a better example is if you wanted to do that, but then at the same time you decided that you suddenly had to do like a new wooden floor in here.
Yeah.
They'll kind of both get done a little bit. Workmen will appear at both ends. Now, if I tell my guys, actually, you know what? Hurry up down here. Right? All this becomes high priority. So what happens is any workmen that were doing jobs previously that are nearby will immediately drop what they're doing and go and do that instead. Right?
Yeah.
So they will actually cancel their current jobs unless the jobs they're doing are already high priority.
Yeah. Okay. There's just two levels of priorities there.
Yeah, you can tag something
high
as high priority or not. So internally, some jobs are already marked as high priority, but this is the highest priority. It means rather than just high priority in the game is based on like it's nearby and the resources are available. This means drop what you're doing, right?
Yeah, okay.
Drop what you're doing and do this now, right? Yeah. So those two things together should make it a little bit easier. It works for any kind of job. So if you need to have a door opened quickly, or you need a prisoner to be searched quickly, or you need a guy to be taken out of solitary confinement quickly, right? Any job in the game can be set to be high priority.
It's nice update.
Yeah. You can see here the consequence of abusing high priority, which is loads and loads of materials lying around that have been dropped literally where they were. As workmen down-tooled with what they were currently doing and ran over to your high priority job.
So we might have some dirty prisons.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if they're going to drop jobs in progress, there is a side effect of that, which is that those jobs in progress are going to be disrupted. Right. Shall we push on? Let's. We've implemented something new in regards to temperature. You remember temperature?
I'm enjoying this temperature.
Yeah, update. I am too. It's become a rich mine, hasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
A rich seam to be mined.
Yeah, exactly. A rich vein.
That's the one. That's the word I was searching for.
Oh, I think seam's a good word.
So, we have weather in the game. Do you want me to show you?
Cool. Yes, I do. I just had an artifact on the screen. I thought I was seeing some rain or something.
Oh, right. No, nothing of the sort. So, before I show you that, I need to show you this new option. So, if you go to the Extras menu and go to Map Settings, you can now change some of the options. Do you remember at Startup, you know when you create a new map? You get these options for like gangs, events, weather is one of the new ones. Right?
Oh, right,
Once you've started the game up, that's it, right? And you don't normally get to change them. Well, now you can from here, right? So weather is turned off on everyone's prison by default. Because of our general policy that we don't like to introduce new systems and instantly have them turned on.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it might break, hours and hours and hours of work.
Exactly. But if you want to go ahead and turn it on, gangs are already on here, and it's a one-way thing. You can't disable it, right? So if you enable weather, it's enabled, and on your head be it,
Yeah.
So in order to explain weather, I should probably explain to you that there is... Actually, I'm just going to go ahead and show you some fun stuff first. Yeah. Let's have a torrential downpour, shall we?
Yeah.
Here we go. All right, here's a nice rainy torrential downpour. So you'll see that...
Nice.
It starts pouring with rain. Right, everyone gets wet and soggy. You see how overcast it's gone as well? See all the colours kind of drained out the world, This is the heavier type of rain, so there's a bit of a distant rumbling of thunder going on. And anybody who's outside gets wet and soggy and
do they want to get inside?
Yeah, they do, and their needs, like their warmth need and their clothing need and their comfort needs, are all violated.
Yeah, okay.
I always like that word.
Violated.
I should actually show you a better example than that, in fact. If I go to pre-made prisons, let's have a look at this one. There we go, extras, events, extras, weather. There we go. All right, so why have I loaded this prison, you may ask?
Because it's awesome.
It is awesome. We're going to have a torrential rain downpour. So this is a torrential rain downpour. So something additional happens here, which is that when you get really heavy rain, the lakes start to flood.
Flood in.
So if you've got a little bit of water around the edges of your prison, like here, you'll start to see it building up in pools. Now this can be a problem because some people, such as the people that built this prison, placed all their power supplies outside,
next to the lake.
Right next to a lake. And can you remember what happens to power supplies when they get wet?
Mate, I can't remember anything about physics, GCSE physics.
It's not good. Nothing good, right? Nothing good happens. Right? So, power stations when they get immersed in water explode and catch fire. It doesn't really matter that they catch fire because they're surrounded by water. But they do explode. So you can see this is really bad rain. Right? So you can see all the edges of this lake have flooded. Let's skip forward to daytime so we can see. Right, so you can get. Oh, there's another one. So he built all of his power stations around lakes. Right, so this would be an opportune moment for us to say, you know what? I think we actually need to separate this out like this.
Is that all you need to do? Just a wall around the outside?
Yeah, wall. A wall will stop it from happening.
It's waterproof, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I probably need to bring in some. Do I need a fire department as well? Maybe I do. This would be a good moment for us to avail ourselves of the high priority.
It would.
See, it won't come running. It's pretty handy actually. I find myself using it quite a lot.
Yeah, I bet you do.
It exists. Do that last bit. Oh, here we go. There's the guy doing it. Oh, that's really handy, isn't it?
It is really good.
Oh, I couldn't get there. Oh, interesting. So he's failed to route there. He can't get there.
Because of the water around the outside, because of that tree.
Exactly, it's a lake. So I'm just going to block it up on the inside.
Temporary fix.
Well, no, it's the right. To be honest, it's not. It's within the rules of the game. It's correct.
No, I mean, you're.
Yes, you can't walk there because there's leaks.
Yeah.
So you see what I've done there? I've blocked it off, and now the water
Yeah.
is all lapped up around the edge, and our power station is safe once again. And is that power back on? Our power is back on.
Does the flood leak through doors and things? Does it go into buildings?
Yes, it appears it does.
Yes, look at that.
It's a serious flooding, you know. So it'll last for like 12 hours or something, I think. Right, that's probably enough. So, I mean, the way that this generally works, so I cheated there and just created a torrential downpour. There is actually a seasonal cycle, right? So it's currently summer, not that you can tell because I cheated and created a seasonal downpour. Now, as is the weird timescale of Prison Architect, the season lasts about 7 days in-game. And we go through all 4 seasons, and each season, the daily temperature varies. So because it's summer at the moment, it's 21 degrees C. I'm not selling this very well because it's pouring with rain because I cheated.
Well, it's a standard British summer.
Yeah, exactly. So it's actually quite hot outside. And so during the summer, you'll get hotter weather. And during the winter, you won't, and you'll get nasty weather. So let's have a look at an example of that. Completely different prison. So now it is... someone's been cheating here as well. So it's nighttime, and it's snowing.
Ah, Christmas.
Check that out. Yeah.
Christmas in the clink.
Isn't that nice? And you can see the ground all gets kind of icy as well. See that?
Yeah,
so prisoners that are outside in this weather have their warmth need quite heavily spiked.
It's like a gulag.
Yeah, this only tends to happen during winter, obviously. Now, it's all keyed into the temperature system that we've been working on. Mm-hmm. So outdoors right now, it says it's 5 degrees C, but it's clearly not 5 degrees C. It's clearly below 0. It's because I asked the guys to cheat earlier and make me a prison where it was snowing so I could demonstrate it in the video. So you've got some new dangers here. I've seen some people like to build solitary confinement wings outdoors.
Right.
And what they generally do is, let's put some lights down. They use fences, right? And they just say, here you go, let's have some outdoor, unsheltered solitary confinement cells, right, like this. And they put jail doors on them like this. Materials, beds, rooms, solitary. Here we go. So here's some really nasty solitary confinement cells. Right?
Yeah.
This is not that uncommon, as I think we've learnt from our fan base. They know no, they have no shame. Really,
they have no feelings.
In the thing. No, no. There's just no, exactly. So, if you leave somebody outside overnight and it falls to minus 10 degrees C and it's snowing, and he's in an outdoor cell and he doesn't have any bedding or anything, he'll die of exposure. Nice.
Right, I mean, not nice that he'll die of exposure, but that's the right.
That's
right
the
model.
Consequence for you of being so harsh on crime. It's nice. Look, it's a nice snowy effect, isn't it? Actually,
it is nice.
Changes the look of the game quite a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's like a whole other look within the game. So what can you have? So types of weather you can have then. So obviously the temperature can vary depending on the season. You can have overcast weather where it just kind of gets a bit dark and grey and miserable. You can have rain. You can have torrential rain. You can have snow. You can have ice. You can have... Let's load... Oh, that's a terrible prison. Let's load a women's prison. You can have a heat wave.
Right.
So I keep loading the wrong examples. Right. This one's winter, 0 degrees C.
Right.
So heat waves and torrential rain are relatively rare occurrences. Right?
Yeah.
They're not regular weather patterns. So I'm not giving you a very good demo, but during a heat wave you'll get very high temperatures, and prisoners that are outdoors start to overheat. So this used to happen previously, like if they were in the kitchen all day, if they're working in a really, really hot kitchen all day long, it would start to overheat. And you get a subtle sunbloom type effect.
Okay.
Maybe you can't quite see it there, but the world gets a little bit brighter and the shadows get a little bit stronger.
Yeah. I can see.
It looks
definitely
generally
contrast.
a bit sunnier. And your prisoners, they don't mind it. They're not going to die of it or anything. But it's just another weather pattern. It's all tied into our, this temperature model and the ongoing work that we've been doing with heating and hot water pipes and all that business.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Very nice.
That's weather. I should mention as well that we've had Johnny the programmer, and
Programmer.
Andrew Lim, a freelance programmer, Andrew Church, a freelance programmer, both working on performance this month as well. So that's 3 months in a row now where we've been doing performance work.
Yeah.
Do you want to see some graphs?
Yes, I do.
And we've been recording data from each of the updates.
Right.
So here's our performance charts for each of the updates. So the blue update. So these are very, very performant demanding levels, right?
Okay.
Perf Iron 4. These are the names of the levels. Albertosaurus and things like that.
So they've got a lot of prisoners in there. Complex route planning.
Yes, they're absolutely
those kind
massive.
of things.
I can show you
really
one too,
driving
if you
things
like.
hard.
So we saw a big update in update 5. That's the red one on each of these 4 maps.
Yeah.
And then update 6, a little bit more of an update. I think it's important to be honest with performance work.
So hang on, what have we got here? We've got the frame rate on the left, right? So
yeah, frame rate. So this is a prison that was running at 20 frames a second. That's now running at 35 frames a second after 2 months of work.
Okay, yeah, I'm with you now.
Which is a very reasonable update. But I can see an obvious curve, right? A tailing off, right? If we did another month's work, the performance improvements would be even less, I would imagine. Yeah. I think people often have an unrealistic expectation of performance, that we can double the speed of the game or something like that.
Well, I'll tell you how to double the speed of the game. Just wait a year. Buy a new computer.
Yeah, we could do that. You could buy a new computer, or, well, the other way to do it is to halve the number of prisoners.
Yeah.
But we never want to go that way of reducing the number of prisoners or the number of staff. So we're not going to do that. It's an ongoing job, and I think that they've done a brilliant job, and it is getting progressively better. All right, that's Prison Architect for the month, I think. Do you have anything else for Prison Architect?
I don't know.
Which means?
Yes.
Which means? What does it mean?
Well, it means a shiver went down my spine.
Yes, we're about to do
because
something.
I'm genuinely afraid.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
we're about to do something very stupid.
About what's happening. The first thing I think we need to tell everybody, right, is that we will continue to support Prison Architect for a long, long time to come, right? By support, I mean fixing bugs. I know you've talked about slowing down on performance, but in a few months' time, there might be other options that we can bring to the table, you know. But in no way are we parking or leaving Prison Architect as a company.
Well, that would be stupid to do so.
Well, it would be stupid, and it would be unfair and unreasonable to everyone that's kind of backed us and helped us out along the way. But the company, not the company, you, right?
Me,
you are moving on.
Yes.
And so despite the fact that all of the suits and the business people that I meet and have lunch with, you know, during my life as a indie developer producer, tell me, oh, you know, yeah, Mark, when are you going to do Prison Architect 2, the Moon edition, and why don't you do Airport Architect, and why don't you do School Architect, and you know, you guys got to be rich, got to make you guys rich, you know.
Well, you normally say, yeah, I think we should make, but Chris won't.
Yeah. Yeah, as I cry into
sorry, I've just undermined everything you've just said for the past 20 minutes.
Cry into my scotch. Yeah. I love your view of yourself.
I know. It's brilliant, isn't it?
Now, we showed some new things at Res, didn't we? But I think you should come clean and tell the internet when you first made these.
You want me to fess up, don't you? So,
right, yeah, you just put me on the spot.
Yeah, I know I did. Well, last year, I can't remember exactly when. I think it was early last year. We did a bug bash. It was one of the bug bashes where the whole team fixed bugs. Right. But no, I didn't fix any bugs that month. I lied.
Liar.
And what I actually did is I assembled a crack team of prototype developing ninjas, which was myself and Leander, and Alistair for audio. And we made 2 new game prototypes in 1 month and kept them secret. And I showed them to you, and we both kind of went, what are we going to do with this? You know, we haven't even finished Prison Architect yet. So what we'll do is we'll put these in the bottom drawer somewhere, and we'll come back to them when Prison Architect version 1 is shipped and we've got a few updates under our belt, and it's time to start thinking about the next thing, right? Because as you have alluded to in your previous 2-hour monologue, Introversion is not going to do Prison Architect forever.
And I think that's perfect reason. What everyone has to remember out there is that you have been working on this game for 6 years.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
6 years. That's enough time to get a medical degree.
I could have been a goddamn doctor.
You could have been a doctor,
yeah,
mate, if you'd rather than doing Prison Architect.
Yeah.
And anybody that gets upset, bollocks to them. They should try doing something for 6 years.
Don't do impressions of them. It's been a brilliant project. I love Prison Architect. It's such a dream project. It really is. It's just it is my own little dwarf fortress. With all little people scurrying around and layers of simulation. It's everything I wanted to do in Subversion, basically, with simulation ruling everything, except with an actual game purpose.
Yeah.
Right. It's that time.
Let's do it.
Enough procrastination. So,
which one are we running? We've got
prototype
two.
number 1, Scanner Somber.
Scanner Somber.
Here we go.
Do I have to pretend that I've not seen it before?
Yeah. So, what the hell's going on in this game? Well, we are in a cave, and we have a scanner. And with the scanner, I can paint the walls. See that?
I never get tired of looking at that, mate.
It's a nice effect, isn't it? Yeah, it's nice. This was the shorter of the 2 prototypes. We spent a week and a half on this game. So what I'm going to do is, why do you have the scanner and why are you in a cave? Well, as soon as you walk out of the starting room, all natural light fades away. Can't see anything.
Can't see anything.
The only thing you have left is the scanner. And so using the scanner, we have to reveal what's in front of us. And you can see our tunnel behind us. That's pretty cool, isn't it?
I think it's very cool. I think it looks awesome.
Do you know what this comes from?
I do now, because I read about it on RPS.
It comes from a Radiohead video.
Yeah, I didn't know we were going to get sued by Radiohead.
Radiohead didn't invent LiDAR. So this is a LiDAR scanner. That's what you have in your hand. A handheld LiDAR scanner. LiDAR scanners do exist, although handheld LiDAR scanners are a little bit of a reach. And they are used for cave. They're used for cave exploration. And
Are they really?
Yeah, absolutely. They're used for any place that's difficult to model. They're used by Google Maps when you go into 3D mode on Google Earth.
Yeah,
that's LiDAR from an airplane.
I knew that, but I didn't know that they were used in.
Yeah, they're often used to model buildings at high resolution. They're used to model caves at high resolution. If you go onto YouTube and Google for LiDAR, you'll find loads of amazing video. And it always has this really curious, like red, green, blue color scheme.
Yeah.
We're using it to represent depth. So the nearest stuff is kind of a warm red.
And it looks amazing, I think.
Yeah.
How in a messy image, if you want to call it that, I mean messy in terms of like noise, just lots of points on a 2D plane. The depth just gives this clarity.
Yeah.
But it also just looks beautiful.
Yeah, it does. It's funny, isn't it? You don't need many dots to. What happens is you get a few dots and it just looks like a mess. You can't make out anything. And then
don't show the internet.
And then as soon as you move, you get.
Don't go in there.
You get depth. Oh, I won't
don't show them. Don't show them.
I won't go in there then. All right, fine.
Now, the first time I played this game, right, I remember we actually went back to the very same coffee shop.
Yes.
Where you had pitched Prison Architect to me.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
loose
remember that.
And I sat and I played this, and the amazing thing about Scanner Somber, or the thing that makes it tricky, is that when you play it, it's a very immersive, quite frightening. I mean, I was really sweating at the end of quite a brief session.
Yeah, we're being a bit cagey, aren't we? Because it's kind of like it is an experience game, isn't it?
Yeah.
I even hear my own voice sounds ridiculous when I say those words, but it's one of those games where it's the opposite end of the spectrum to Prison Architect, basically.
That's right.
It's not simulation driven. It's not system driven. It's an experience that you'll play through, and hopefully you'll feel some things. And it's a very unusual project for Introversion. It's quite a creative project. I think it's what happens when you work on Prison Architect for 6 years.
Well, you see,
and you're
what
desperate
was
to do something, organic or different.
yeah? I mean, when I first saw it, I thought to myself, this is going to be impossible to sell. It's going to be impossible to communicate.
Yeah.
It's weird. It doesn't have a future. And then, I mean, not. I didn't. That was with my marketing head on, right? That was with my marketing head on.
Yeah, you've thought that of every game I've ever shown you,
But
except
no,
Prison Architect.
not with Wrongwire. But the experience I had, the emotional experience I had, was one of the most intense since playing Uplink. And that was the weird thing. And then, as we went forward and showed this game to more people, we found that more people were interested in Scanasomba than they were in Wrongwire.
Yeah, it was a very popular prototype. A lot of people were drawn into the room, or told us they were drawn into our room because they saw this game.
This is at Res you're talking about, isn't
Yeah,
it?
at the Res game show. Yeah, at the same
game
time as
show.
our BAFTAs, we did 3 days showing these new prototypes to the general public. And obviously that's great, but the thing about that is that the reach is very small. It's only really a few hundred people that get to experience the game, which is why we're showing them in our video now, because it's a much larger reach.
So let's have a look at the other one then.
All right, we'll bang out of that then. Bye-bye Scanasomba.
Bye-bye, Scanasomba.
Prototypes, Wrongwire. All right, so game number 2 then, Wrongwire. Here we go. All right, so...
It's keep talking and no one explodes.
I knew you were going to say that. That is a great game. I love that game. I mean, we played that game quite a lot, and this game shares a theme with that game, and the theme is bomb defusal. No point denying it. I could stand here and say, but this game existed before Keep Talking and nobody explodes, but nobody's going to believe me.
No, you should say that.
No one's
you
gonna
should say that
believe me.
because that. When did you work on the prototypes?
Yes, the prototype for Wrongwire. It was the first ever blog was that Subversion blog, wasn't it, where I talked about writing a bomb defusal game within Subversion. This is actually a sub game within Subversion, and that's from 2009. And then we prototyped it early last year.
So we hadn't seen Keep Talking
No,
when we
don't think
made
so.
it. But there will be a lot of comparisons, which is why I want to just take it kind of head on, But I think that's a good thing because the games play very differently.
They play they're mechanically completely different.
Yeah,
and I think there's enough room in the world for 2 very good bomb defusal games. Their game is all about their core game is the communication between you and your teammate.
Yeah,
right? Your teammate has the defusal manual, and you have to communicate with them verbally. They can't see the bomb. Right, and you explain to them what you can see, and they have to infer from the instructions how to defuse it. This is more like a single-player bomb defusal game, right? A single-player puzzle game. So this is a very simple starting puzzle. Shall I solve it?
Yeah, solve it, man.
So you can pick up these tools. You have wire cutters and a drill. I'm going to drill this out, pop it open, and now we have 4 coloured wires to choose from. Right, it's the
Don't cut the wrong wire.
Definitely don't cut the wrong wire. And if you try and cut any of the detonator wires, the bomb explodes as well. So I've been trying in my Subversion simulation-based way to model this. This is actually a working circuit. There are voltages on these wires. If you cut,
lunatic.
I am a lunatic because I wanted it to be self-consistent. It's not hard-coded.
In 5 years' time, all we're going to be doing is wrong wire performance.
Yeah, that's it. Trying to fix performance bugs. If you cut one of these wires, the voltage that's been set on that wire doesn't get set, and the other voltages get changed to trigger the other detonators.
Right.
So how on earth do you figure out which wire to cut? You have to figure out which of the 3 types of detonator it is.
Get out there. Standard detonator defusal guide and play it step by step.
Type of detonator, cut the power wire. I have to check actually. It's the green one, right? So there you go. And once you cut the green wire, the device is safe. At that point, you can cut any of the remaining wires as well if you want to be extra safe. All right, so that's a nice simple example. Let's have a look at a more complex example, shall we? Wait for it. I'm skipping that level. Here's a more complex one. Check this out. What's the thing that you definitely shouldn't do?
Don't open the briefcase, man.
No! So this is an example of a more complex device, right? Multiple different layers, multiple different parts. Sections above, sections below, a keypad to try and guess the code on. No.
Are those mines?
Yes, claymores.
Claymores.
You've got a timer up here, right? this little.
I love that
phone.
instruction on the Claymore. You know, I've seen that before. Front toward
I know,
enemy.
it's brilliant, isn't it?
It's so simple, and I want to make an album and call it Front Toward Enemy.
It's a good album title.
3 words, and it's so evocative.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, I mean, this is an
know,
anti-tamper.
the internet
This
can
is an
read your
anti-tamper
Skype-
circuit.
Your Skype
Yeah,
chat.
I know. What can I do about it? This is an anti-tamper circuit. So this is this is for you, right? This is designed to stop you diffusing it. This goes off in your face. So if you, for example, if you try this box here that says "Do not open," you could try and open that, or you could try and cut one of the detonator wires.
Yeah.
Or you could try and cut. Let's try and cut this wire. Bomb explodes in our face. Right, and you get this kind of death camera. Now the death camera gives you hints as well about why you died. Right. So it shows the exact explosive that went, because not all the explosives went off, just the lower section. And you can see wires running into this inner circuit box down here, and you can actually see the outline of a circuit chip in there. So we're simulating this to a reasonable level, right? There are actually processors and chips and programs running on chips and things like that. Maybe I'll show you this one as something. Here's a good example, right? So this is a circuit chip driving this bomb, right? Controlling the logic.
Yeah.
And we can take a look at that with our EEPROM reader. This is one of the standard tools that you get. It's
Nice.
designed to read the memory inside a chip.
Yeah.
There you go, there's our memory, see? Pretty cool stuff, right?
Very cool stuff.
I think that probably the first 2 levels evoke keep talking quite a lot.
Yeah.
But the latter 2 don't. This one, and I'm even going to show the 4th level, mate.
Oh.
You try and stop me.
Oh.
Right. This is an example of the real kind of puzzles that we're working towards, Big, meaty devices that are multiple levels deep. So you can see here that there's a thumbprint scanner on this bomb that you need to defeat first.
This fairly enormous bomb.
Yeah. this giant atom bomb or whatever the hell it is. And that opens up section 2, and you can use more on there's new tool types, there's new stuff, There's a lot we can do with this game, and I also think that you always mock me for it, but I think that the system approach to game design is the way to go.
I don't mock you for it.
Yeah, you
I
do.
think it's brilliant.
It's the way you should stimulate things like this. So if the player has a cunning idea of how to stop something happening, they can,
Yeah.
So that's our 2 prototypes.
So there they go. So at Resd, when we demonstrated these, we had 2 physical boxes and badges. What do they call them in the States? Pins.
Pins. Yeah.
I don't know. Little badges that you stick on yourself, to vote for which game.
Yeah.
And we're extending that vote now to the internet. So if you visit introversion.co.uk/vote, hopefully Chris has put it up on the.
Do you want me to put it up on the screen and stop?
I want you to
diffusing
put
the
it up
atom
on the screen when we start talking about Scanner Somber. Go all the way through.
Yeah, all right.
We just want to know which of the 2 games you prefer. Which one you're more interested in. Maybe we will decide which one we're going to do first. Maybe we will decide that we're not going to do one at all off the back of this poll. But we're just trying to take the temperature, if you like, regarding these 2 prototypes.
Yeah.
So let us know. Share the poll with your mates, other gamers, whether they're interested in PA or not, and just we'd love to know what you think, because it's a scary time for us as we transition away.
It's a scary transitionary time, although it's also a very, very exciting time as well. Because it was so good watching people play those games at Rest.
Yeah, they did resonate, didn't they?
Yeah, they definitely resonated.
Ah!
Did you mean to say that?
I didn't mean to. That was brilliant.
Yeah.
Right, everybody, that is quite enough from us. You will hear from us at the end of May. Mark and Chris, out.